Carlos Frederico Lecker, Viscount of Langanen. Carlos Frederico Lecker, October 6, 1764, August 2, 1836, was a Portuguese general and politician. He was the first Baron of Lagana, in Portugal, and later ascended to Viscount of Lagana, in Brazil. He was most notably the only non-British general to have commanded one of the Anglo-Portuguese divisions of Wellington's Peninsular Army, the 7th. His last name is sometimes written as Lecker or Lacour. The latter is very common in English sources of the 19th century. Most Spanish sources give him as Carlos Federico Lecker. Early life and military career: 1764–1807. Son of Louis-Pierre Lecker, a French émigré, and Quiteria Maria Cruz, Carlos Frederico Lecker was born in the parish of Santos o Velho in Lisbon. He had French ascendancy by his father, and German, Dutch, and Spanish ascendancy by his mother. He was born into merchant families, and, as the older son of 5, was destined to pursue a commercial career. Instead, having moved to Faro in the decade of 1770, he would eventually enlist in the Portuguese army as a P de Castillo castle guard in 1793 as a gunner at the unusual age of 29. Having been placed at the fortress of Santo Antonio da Barra in Tavira, he rose to the rank of sergeant. He was then made an adjutant to the military commander of Portimão, presumably at officer level. In 1794 he became first lieutenant in the artillery regiment of Algarve, as second in command to the 9th Company of Gunners. In 1795 and 1796 he was part of the artillery complement of the now Príncipe da Beira, the flagship of a fleet escorting commercial ships to Salvador, in Brazil. Upon returning to Lisbon, he was promoted to captain in the Light Troops Legion, an experimental unit of the Portuguese army, eventually becoming the aide-de-camp to General Marquis of Alorna. In this capacity he was promoted to major 1802 and lieutenant colonel 1805. Peninsular War 1807–1814. On the occasion of the first French invasion of Portugal, in November 1807, Carlos Frederico Lecker is credited with having spotted the invading army, commanded by Junot, north of Abrantes, having personally informed the Prince Regent, future King John VI. As Lecker didn't want to serve in the Legion Portuguese, formed out of the remnants of the dismantled Portuguese army to serve Napoleon, he fled to Plymouth, England, hoping to embark to Brazil, but on hearing the news of the Portuguese uprisings of June 1808, he participates in the creation of the Loyal Lusitanian Legion, a military unit created. He then returns to Portugal with Colonel Robert Wilson. Despite being originally made responsible for the recruitment of a 2nd Battalion of the Legion, he is made colonel of the 23rd Infantry Regiment in Almeida in December 1808. Between 1809 and 1813, Lecker acts as commander of several units in the Portuguese army, mainly brigade level, and as military commander of the Barabaxa region, based in Castelo Branco. He is promoted to brigadier general on May 8, 1811. For a brief period in 1811 he commands the Portuguese brigade of the Allied 7th Division. He participates in the Busaco campaign, as well as the lines of Torres Vedras under General Rowland Hill. On the eve of the Vitoria campaign, in 1813, Lecker is placed again at the command of the Portuguese brigade, later numbered 6th of the 7th Division of the Anglo-Portuguese Army, under the command of Lord Dalhousie. He is promoted to Major General Marechal de Campo on June 4, 1813. He then goes on to fight in the Battle of Sororan as brigade commander and the Battle of Nivelle as acting commander of the 7th Division. He is then placed as the commander of the Portuguese division, where he is till the end of the war, participating at the Battle of the Nive, on its last day, also called the Battle of St. Pierre. Service in Brazil and Uruguay 1815–1829. Having returned to Portugal in mid-Minas 1814, after the conclusion of the Peninsular War, Lecker is appointed military governor of the Alentejo for a brief period of time. In June 1815, he is promoted to lieutenant general and appointed commander of the Prince's Royal Voluntary Division Divisão de Voluntário Reis do Príncipe, a unit to be sent for service in Brazil, made up mostly of peninsular veterans. In 1816, he led the successful Portuguese conquest of the Banda Oriental against the Liga Federal of José Gervasio Artigas, who had liberated the Banda Oriental, present-day Uruguay, from Spanish rule the year before. He personally ruled the newly conquered Cisplatina province until the Cisplatine War of 1825–1828. During this war, he succeeded in defending Montevideo against an Argentine-Uruguayan siege, but when Uruguay became independent in the peace treaty, he had to return to Brazil.